like any successful thing in Hollywood, there have been sequel pitches. One actually had a title, actually had a concept, and was seemingly very close to getting made until Spielberg kind of stepped in. And that one was called Roger Rabbit and the Toon Platoon. It was a prequel where Roger fights in World War II against the Nazis, has a platoon of, obviously Toon soldiers, hence the Toon Platoon. And by the end of the movie ends up, in Hollywood to kind of start his journey there. I'm guessing a little bit of Rin Tin Tin, because Rin Tin Tin's whole backstory was, he was a war dog and then kind of came back to the States. But at the beginning of the movie, one of the opening jokes in Toon Platoon is that Roger is told by his human parents that he's adopted. So throughout the movie, one of the main story threads was like he's trying to find who his dad is. And I think from what I had read in the finale, when he makes it to Hollywood, he finds out through records that Bugs Bunny is his father. Which is also wild because you're then kind of portraying a character from a franchise you don't have as a deadbeat dad, which is a weird kind of thing to put on another character.
Deadbeat or ignorant to the fact that he exists, but in either case, I don't want to think about Bugs, getting it on. I mean,
much like I don't want to think about Palpatine getting it on. Yeah, it's not. No, I don't want to imagine that at all. All right, so Toon Platoon was in development. Script got pretty far, and then like Spielberg was always the guy who had the final say on it. And he heard that pitch, and he was like, "No." Because I don't like the Nazis being made into a cartoony kind of thing. It's like, you know what? That is 100% fair. That is totally a great fair rationale. Totally understand it.
Yeah.
So then in 1998, there was another version they were going to do. It was going to be an early mix of 2D animation and 3D animation for like when Roger's moving, doing that. They did a test thing of footage on it just to show that it's like, hey, we can still do this. The animation can still look great, and it was 1998. So it was like the same kind of tech that, that Roger Rabbit had pushed into something like Space Jam. In a good way, where it's like, the real person in the animation and vice versa works really well. And Spielberg liked that one. Like, whatever the story pitch was for that, he was on board with that one. And then it just, for whatever reason, kind of fell apart. As of that, so like I know when they made the original movie, they made a few Roger Rabbit shorts. They made it like a few like commercials that were like for like Diet Coke and McDonald's or something that were Roger Rabbit. But those animation tests in 1998 were the last kind of on-screen appearance of Roger Rabbit for a very long time until 2022. Yes.
I don't think I know about this one.
Oh.
Or maybe I do and I don't.
Maybe you do. I'm going to give you a few hints and see if you can get it. And if the audience is paying attention, they're probably screaming it. But hey, that's funny to
probably.
Me. So this is a movie that, in terms of the world that it's building, feels like a spiritual sequel to Roger Rabbit. Features animated characters in a real world environment. Features animated characters treated as actors in a thing that is animated. And treating that like it's just a movie. Like, oh, hey, we did this animated series. We had to cast animated actors.
I feel like this is super obvious and I'm just not catching it.
And it is from The Lonely Island. From 2022, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
There you go.
Yes.
I did enjoy that movie.
It's a great movie. And the fact that at one point they open up a freezer and you see things from Disney frozen fish sticks, Ice Age, which is like a Sony property.
Yeah.
There, and then a Looney Tune thing. The IP hurdles they had to jump through, but Roger Rabbit does appear in Chippendale. Have you seen the Chippendale movie?
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Has no right being as good as it is.
Not even a little bit. So right before Chippendale break up, they're having their party in the height of the 80s. And one of the attendants of this dance party is Roger Rabbit. And he's on the dance floor and he's like, like he's doing his thing. He's having a great time.
He was doing the Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit. That's right.
But that is like from the end of the 80s into the early 90s up until that is the first on-screen appearance of Roger Rabbit in at least 20 years.
That's wild. And thank you for reminding me of that because I really did enjoy that movie and my memory apparently it's gone. I don't know, but